So today we are covering safety is no accident, and we're going to go over my expectations for my lab um, and my expectations and safety rules for this class. So we do have some safety equipment here in this lab, and I want to make sure that you're familiar with the locations of the following safety equipment. If you are not here today and you are watching this to catch up, please come in and find where all of these items are located just in case something happens. So we do have a fire extinguisher, an MSDS book, an emergency safety shower and eye wash station, lab aprons, a fume hood, a fire blanket, eye goggle cabinet, broken glassman, and an emergency cutoff. So, my top lab safety rules are always listen to and read instructions carefully before attempting any laboratory activity. You also need to read the chemical safety information in the lab. I do that, right? But I want you guys to be able to do that as well. So if working with chemicals, read the MSDS information on that chemical for safety procedures relating to it. So is it corrosive? Will it damage your skin? Will it gouge your eyeballs out? Also need to dress appropriately for my lab. For chemistry lab, it's not fashion or the weather. I need you to tie back long hair, roll up your long sleeves or loose sleeves, wear pants, and closed-toed shoes. You need to wear appropriate PPE, so personal protective equipment, goggles, aprons, and gloves when told so. I will only tell you once at the beginning of the class. I will not tell you again. If I tell you a second time, you will be sitting out. I also need to identify the safety equipment in the lab. Please don't taste or smell chemicals. And always add acid to water, never water to acid, because you don't want that acid to backsplash and burn you or someone else. You never, ever returned used chemicals to the original container. They get disposed of. And don't casually dispose of chemicals down the drain. I will instruct you on where to dispose of them. Never take any part of the lab procedure outside the lab. So don't go and do a lab at home because you've stolen my materials. That ain't cool. Take data during your lab, so write down measurements, observation, any authorized change to the assigned procedure. So if I tell you instead of this, we're going to do this, you need to make a quick note of it. Never improvise on the procedure. The procedures are the procedures for a reason, and always follow the directions as stated on the procedure unless instructed otherwise. Remember, this should be the same as last year. Hot glassware looks just like cold glassware, so just don't touch it. Don't eat or drink in my classroom or lab. No horseplay in my lab. Keep noise to a minimum. You need to be able to hear instructions. And if anything happens, a spill, breakage, please cut, injury, please let me know. Stay where you are and tell me. Get my attention. I'll come over and help. Keep your hands away from your face during lab work. I had a student have NaOH on their hands and they rubbed their face and they had burns on their face from the NaOH because they touched their face while in lab. Wash your hands after each lab and always clean up your area at the conclusion of the laboratory period. Please don't leave me a mess. So there's some specific glassware safety that you need to know. Chipped or cracked glassware should not be used. Give it to me and I will replace it for you. Broken glassware should not be disposed of in the class trash. I have a glass disposal that I will throw it into. When pouring liquids, always make sure the container you are pouring into is resting on the table at least a hand's width away from the edge. So don't pour it while you're holding it. Place it on the table and pour. If a piece of glassware gets broken, do not try to clean it up yourself. I will come clean it up for you. I don't want you hurting yourself. And never place hot glassware in water. The rapid cooling will make it shatter. Back when at my old school, I had a student warm up a glass dish and then set it on my table and it cracked and exploded. So please don't shatter glassware everywhere. Never mix chemicals together unless you are told to do so, and only in the manner specified. Please don't eat any chemicals. They're not fun. You get sick, you die. If you need to smell the odor of a chemical, waft it. So you take your hand and push it towards you. Don't ever put your nose over it and inhale the fumes. You can get burns that way. And never pour water into a concentrated acid. Acid should be poured slowly into water to avoid splashing and burning. Heating safety. We let Bunsen burners and hot plates cool down before touching them. Please don't. Test to see if they're cool by bringing the back of your hand close to them. Don't just like slap your hand on it because that's how you get burns. Use tongs and or protective gloves when handling hot objects. Never reach across an open flame or Bunsen burner. Always point the end of the test tube that is being heated away from people. So don't aim the test tube at someone, point it to the wall because you can't hurt the wall, you can hurt someone else. When heating a test tube, move it around slowly over the flame to distribute the heat evenly. Only glassware that is dry should be heated. So you have to make sure your glassware is dry before heating it up. And heat glassware by placing it on a wire gauze on a ring stand. Do not hold it with your hand.